That was Icona Pop with I Love It. So, hey guys, right now we got a special guest in here. You all know him and love him. He is our CMC His Command Master Chief Rudy Johnson. Hey, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm not sure about the know and love part, but definitely...
Don't sell yourself short. What are you talking about?
Here. No, I love myself.
Well, we certainly love you over here at AFN.
Figure out if other people love me.
Of course.
Anyway, how's everybody doing out there this morning? You know, this is my first show of the new year, and got a couple topics to talk about. I've cut back to like maybe once a month now, or just as I get some topics to come in. Doing it every week was a little bit too much for me. But what I'm going to talk about today is a little bit of the CNO's, or Chief of Naval Operations, FRAGO. Then we're going to cover some of my favorite topics about helping other people. Then we're going to talk a little bit about some information power, and then I'll cover a couple of ICE comments that I've seen out there. So starting right into it is let's talk about the CNO's FRAGO real quick here.
Sounds good.
I hope that everybody, including the senior and the junior folks out there, are reading these documents. The CNO is our top guy in the Navy, who is directing everything we do in the Navy, and it's important to know what he's talking to us about. And he made it real easy for us. He put out this FRAGO that kind of talks about his priorities and where the Navy needs to go from now and into the future. And starting right off, if you watch the news, you've probably heard some things about great power competition. And right now, we're in this great power competition with China and Russia. And CNO's number one priority for us is to be war fighters and to be ready to go to war should it happen. And I know that many people these days, they don't join the Navy like I joined 26 years ago and said, I want to go serve my country, and that might mean I might have to go to war. Mm-hmm. Many people join these days for college or to see the world or to do some things like that. And the purpose of me talking about the FRAGO this morning is just to try and get people to focus a little bit on what we are really here for in the military, and specifically the Navy, and that is warfighting. I've got to travel over the last 26 years, but I've always known in the back of my mind that if the crap hit the fan, and we had to go to war, that was going to be my primary job. And what better way to be ready to go to war is if you think, live and breathe it every day. And that's what our CNO is trying to get us to do. There's a couple of things that he talks about, and I got my notes here. And the first thing is mission one for every sailor in the Navy, active and reserved, uniformed and civilian, and our civilians out there, is the operational readiness of the Navy. What does that mean for you? For the sailors, the civilians, and our family members even? It basically means that whatever job you do for the Navy, you've got to be doing that job to the best of your ability every single day. Be inspection ready, be war ready, so that when something goes wrong and we have to actually go to war, you're ready to go. You're already doing the things that you have to do to be ready for the war. What do you think about that, MC2?
Well, I think it's absolutely crucial as well. We live in a very changing environment in the world today, and you need to always be ready, especially when it comes to war fighting.
Absolutely. So here's some things that I've noted down here, and this is important for Sasebo, both for our ships out here and for the base, because we support those ships. One of the things that the CNO talks about is leveraging the power of the integrated fleet. And what that really means is fighting and winning as a team. All of our ships here, or most of our ships here in Sasebo, are amphibious ships, and we operate jointly with the Marine Corps. And that blue-green team is putting on a huge forward presence out here in the 7th Fleet AOR. And man, I got to tell you, being the CMC of the WASP, seeing that stuff in action is crazy. But bottom line is, we got to work together as a team with our Marine Corps brothers and sisters and make sure that we're ready to go to war when that happens. Next thing that he talked about here is leveraging advances in warfighting capability by integrating and accelerating them with warfighting development campaign, with a warfighting development campaign plan to provide an effective deterrence. Again, you know, that's high level stuff that he's talking about, where we're doing war gaming, we're doing exercises, kind of like what we got going on right now with Keen Edge, doing exercises to make sure that we're ready to go should something happen. And all of this information that I'm getting here, you know, is pretty easy. He makes it easy for us to get the information, and he's even got a single sheeter, which I'm going to hold up to the Facebook here, and it makes it real easy. You know, I would say print this out, post it up in your work centers, and it's simple: war fighting, war fighters, and the future of our Navy. And war fighting is all of us. War fighting is each individual person who's doing their job to the best of their ability so they can be ready to go should it happen. And just some examples of things like that is, you know, the MAs here, you know, they guard the base. They protect the ships that are over there on the waterfront. You guys here in AFN, you tell the stories. You tell the stories about our bilateral relationships with the Japanese. You tell the stories about what we're doing over here to be ready for this. The LSs, you know, they're supplying parts so we can make sure aircraft are ready to fly, ships are ready to go, and even CSs, feeding. I mean, what a huge part of being ready to go is to be fueled and ready to go for your for the fight should we need to do it. But yeah, I'm going to hold this up one more time. Print that out. Put it on your wall, and remember it every day. Because no matter what happens, we've got to be ready to go should it happen today.
Absolutely. So we're just talking about the CNO's newest fragmentary order. Right now we're going to take a small break. We're going to listen to your Eagle Radio News, and we'll be right back with Command Master Chief Johnson talking about some stuff that you need to know. That was John Kay with his new hit, If We Never Met. So hey guys, we are back here with Command Master Chief Rudy Johnson. Right now we're talking about helping out our community a little bit.
Yep. So if any of you are newer here within the last 6 months and you've attended AOB ICR, you've heard me talk there. And one of the big things I talk about is helping each other and helping the community. And again, with the theme of it being the new year, and my focus this year is really to try and help people out and try and get the community and other people to help each other out as well. There's a couple ways that you can do that. The first way that I would request from the community and those who are listening is that if you see something that's messed up on base, let's just say, an example, there were some bushes that were right next to the personal property office, and you couldn't see right when you were turning out of that little alleyway there. Well, somebody brought it up and somebody put an ice comment on it. It took me a little bit to get rid of them, but if you notice, those bushes are gone so that you can see right when you're turning out of there now.
Yeah.
One thing that's big with me is the gym. I go to the gym every morning around 3:45-ish, sometimes earlier depending on, and if that door is not working, there's a group of us that go at that time in the morning. I do my best to text one of them to say, hey, the door's not working. I don't want other community members to have to suffer when something on base is jacked up that we might be able to fix by somebody just saying something. And I've got my NEX manager, I've got my security department head, I've got my MWR director, and each facility has somebody who runs that. And so if you see something on base that you think, man, this is going to affect other people, please bring it up to them.
If you see something, say something.
See something, say something. It's very similar to the force protection thing we got going on. And I'm going to help you guys out real quick here, the community. I'm sure it's been going out, at the all commands meetings, but next month we've got CART, which is Commander's Assessment of Readiness and Training, and that's going to affect the community a little bit because we're going to do some drills. So I want you to know ahead of time, hey, this is coming. Be ready for a few delays at the gate. It could when we have to close the gate for the drills. And the other thing is that I need everybody to pay attention to the big voice and their phones when things are going on. When we did some drills the past week, they were talking about sheltering in place. And when we do these type of training, these assessments from the higher headquarters, it's important that the community pays attention to that stuff, and goes inside and plays along. Because if you practice how you would really do it if something was going down, it's going to be a heck of a lot better for you, and you'll automatically do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing about helping other people, the headphones, the bike helmets, people walking around with uniforms that are jacked up. One of the things I've noticed recently is that there's usually people walking that are violating these base regulations, and they're walking in a group of people. And I'm asking those who are listening, I'm asking the leaders out there to talk to your sailors, talk to your family members, say something to these folks that are with you. It's we shouldn't be letting our shipmates or our friends walk around and do things. And if we all take part in helping each other out, man, there'll be nothing. I can't say nothing, because that's probably, I have my hopes are too high, but there will be so many things that we don't have to worry about on the base, because everybody's just doing their part to help each other out.
Absolutely.
And I've looked at it that way for a long time.
Of course.
Let's see. I got time to talk about one other thing.
We have a little bit more time,
cool.
Master Chief.
All right. Last thing before we cut to break is, information is a huge important thing, and all this information that I get every morning, that I talk about on these radio shows, is available for you guys online. I'm just going to name some websites you can go to. So npc.navy.mil. It's got a great stuff about career, and it's got links to a bunch of other things. The CNO's Frago, and the place I'm telling you to go to print this out, navy.mil/CNO. We've got navy.mil/CNP, which gives you the weekly wires. And also there's a blog and stuff on there that tells you every time something's going down, they post it on there so that you can know. And then navylive.dodlive.mil. They've got like a tweet feed. And there's also a place on it that gives you most of the social media pages around the Navy. And while Google is great, sometimes doing Google, it will take you a little while to get to what you're going to. If you go to these sites, you're going to get to the right source with the right information, so you don't have to search so much to try and find things. And maybe get the wrong information because you're getting an older version of something that's out there. Yeah, it's good stuff. Information is power. And if everybody has the information and get this stuff that I'm talking about, it will be a huge benefit to you all. And I talk about this mostly because when I put things out, sometimes I'll have sailors come up to me, and all my sailors are smart, and so they'll come up to me like, I didn't even know about that CMC. I'm like, man, it's so readily available on the internet, right at your cell phone, the things, and the Navy is really adapted. We've got the My Navy portal, the My Navy HR, the My Navy advancement. They have apps for everything now. And I'll admit it, I'm an old dude, but I got those apps on my phone because I'm trying to have that information so that I can be smarter than the younger folks that are under me, so I can help them out.
Absolutely, those apps do kind of help things out a lot, Especially for us younger generation, we like to be able to have those things readily available. So that stuff definitely helps out a lot. Can we get those one more time? What are those websites?
Yep, here you go.
You said NPC, I believe?
First is npc.navy.mil. Then we got navy.mil/CNO.
Okay.
That's where you can get that one-page frag order. Navy.mil/CNP. That gives you the weekly wires, and that basically talks about all the things that are going on in the Navy over the week. And then we got navylive.dodlive.mil, which has like tweets on it, and it's got a list of most of the social media sites. And if you go there, there's a lot more information, so much information that I couldn't write it all down this morning before I came over here.
Absolutely, a ton of great information. But you know, it seems to say we are almost to the top of the hour. So I just want to thank you so much for coming in this morning. I believe, next month we'll see you again?
Something like that. We'll figure it out.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much. Right now, we're going to play a couple more songs that are going to bring us right to the top of the hour, starting with Florence and the Machine's Kiss with a Fist.